Oh, is that nice? Don't know. What kind of eyebrow shape does girls like? Don't know. Anyway, illumination of confession based upon one upon a time. Because illumination of confession based upon once upon a time, the dissolver cannot be once upon a time. Because the in service to po te tan no is the o na ni in relation to day knowing, because the position of the one day once upon a time is that the manual is once day once upon a time, because the service Polu has not been Weibo in relation to okay, wait a minute. Dr. Sandra Lifong. Dr. Sandra Lifong. Dr. Sandra Lifong. The alphabet is A to Z, right? In Vietnam, the alphabet Chala, the French, in relation to alpha. That's what you know. No, not yet. It would take me some time to work out the algorithm based upon our own alpha, because based upon our own alpha, what other country has the character in relation to the alpha law of the alpha, and alphabetically the adjust verb noun, no, adjust verb diction is like that. See the look? Oh, Dr. Sandra, I can't pronounce your surname. Dr. Sandra, in that way, when you know that the singer has been it's a instant of knowing how to see. So if it looks like that, then how does our frontal lobe reacts? Verbal lobe. Does that look make you know that I am happy about what I just said, or I am serious about knowing, learning, to learning, knowing that one upon a time I become really popular. So, in the way of the algorithm, the alphabet has not been prolonged in relation to do you function no, not really. Do you function? So in this way, do you function, it means that are you knowing how to in relation to the composer? So in relation to the composer of the alphabet, the algorithm is me. So in that way, it sort of evolved into the undertone of alphabet in relation to Wizzy Galang Tunsun. In that way, the Wizzy Galang Tunsun is a manual of our own rhythm. Yeah, but in that way, when we have a singing, do we Korea a Pele Kontang Kansan in relation to Dasa Dichi Koko? Because the alcafra is a Ju. So in that way, when we form the population of our own voice, each wa has a different song of voice in relation to our alcafra. Because in that way, when it does, the choir in relation to the saints is a dun dun dun. Because in grade 6, when my voice changed, I grew up. So in that way, the principle of LVV by Dr. Sandra is Tankantan by Duchinton. So in the alcafra, the menkantan of the composer is that Dr. Gu has not been, hey, so Funk, how do we know that Mekati in relation to the alpha meticism is the alphabet? So, in a way of knowing how to play the song in relation to singing type, the atala is that when we know how to interson the menu form of the alpha to whom is the ga. So in that way, when we do our component of our algorithm is the epele of knowing how to wala the interson of alphabet in relation to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, Y, S, T, U, P, T, L, M, G, C. Dun 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 dun. Oh, I think I don't know the alphabet anymore. Okay. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, M, L, L, O, P, Q, R, S, Y, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Oh, to first one. Oh, sort of, but in that way. Yeah, in that way. So in relation to our own algorithm of the rhythm, the surfunk will the surfunk will encounter the pete ketete in relation to waka kokoko. Because in Vietnam, my mom used to teach me to write Vietnamese, but I couldn't concentrate on it very well. I'm pretty bad at school. Sorry. So, in the French connection by the alkali is that the cocochon of the alkali of the alkali is the ankantan of our alpha 4 because really here is that our ankantan of our betete is that when we know how to posho the ankantan, then how do we know that each kurlo fold itself into the kantantan? My mom know how to write and read Chinese. No, my mom know how to read. I mean, yeah. So in this way, I don't know what word is what, and it letterizes the alphabet. So in this way, when each word alphabet, yeah, when it does, how does it do the tan tan tan? Because what's my brother's name? So in this way, the alpha fund of our own tete is that the alpha law of the algonana is the alpha form. Yes, of choir. Yes. So in choir, do you know there's a group that sings? Yes. So in that way, oh, what's it? Oh, it's not an instrument in the church. Oh, in the choir. Yeah. So in that way, when we have a non-gigolo of the Ankantan, we are no. So um, I don't know too much Vietnamese, but I am Vietnamese. So this asasi from the D aha is the principle of knowing so funk in relation to wireframe. And in relation to wireframe by my brother is that the conversion of my brother incashe the principle of how to intend the algorithm. Because in so the algorithm will map the condition of physi and to synthesize the bala. Because in the matter of time when it does, the monganton of our bubblegum is the king kong. Because in that time when we know how to estatong the egono of the algorithm, we may perform the name. Oh, it's Buddha's ear. Oh. So in this kind of way, how do we cover for the algorithm of the APP? Sounds like OA. But since it sounds like OA, Mui. Hmm. Since it sounds like oh, since it's the I'm looking too much at myself to see which one is which. Oh, but in that way, when we do, I think we need drugs. Now, okay, Professor Jenny Pongsford, you are a professor. How do you clear your mind in relation to after platting these kinds of overlay? Because later on, if it gets stuck, how do we know which alphabet is the alphabet to match the Lily, which means Dr. Sandra? It's not too serious as yet in relation to the proletly, prosexual. Oh, don't know. So in this way, our own ah, hmm, hmm. I just saw a figurine of Elfie. One more. I just saw a figurine of Elfie. One more. I just saw a figurine of Elfie. So, Professor, Doctor, which way is sunk in relation to. Because if we can time span the quarterware of quantum leap in relation to time lamp, we can elevate the alphabet in relation to our own song. So, being a child in kindergarten, when we teach our own children the alphabet, there's catch-a-song, yes, of animals in relation to the letters. So in that way, oh, that's all I can do for that one. Oh, sorry, I'm not a teacher, so I don't know what you guys do at kindergarten. Sorry. So anyway, in there. So, in a way of our own compiler, of the composer, based upon our organe, the organism of physics, it's like, no, it's like, something like that, in relation to Dengaman. So in a matter of time, when we, oh yeah, do I remember this? My sister? Oh, don't know. So in this way, I can only convert the alpha of the algorithm in relation to professor and doctor, but the PD is G. Public general practitioner. Oh, no. Public general practitioner is not a singer in relation to the other. But in that way, if we know that we are the gong of the amphitheater, that the law of the ear is an compound of it. So, in this way, what kind of letters sunk into our ear when we sing? There's only one number, number 6. So, in this way, how do we know that the it passed through the outer lobe of our ear? Kind of like Malay, 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 doing time, high, high. One more. Malay, 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 doing time, high, high. One more. Malay, 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 doing time, high, high. One more. Malay, 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 doing time, high, high. One try. Malay, 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 doing time, high, high. One try. Malay, 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 doing time, high, high. So, in this kind of way, I think I'm practicing the particle of something like that, you know. Because in a matter of time, when we do that, each singer yeah, it's a different personality. Yeah, of course you are. So in that way, when you sing songs and you have an album, some of the songs mismatches because songs are just like 3 to 4 minutes, isn't it? Yeah. So in that way, when we know that each title of the song in your album by 12 songs, then in songs, how do we compose the meaningful of each other to sympathetics the alpha by the Algonton. So in that way, the two doctors will communicate to a singer and to see which tracks will multiply the alpha law of our own Bordeaux, which is two in time we know that, 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 two in time we know. I can't go any deeper because some men have a deeper voice. Yes. So based upon that, our own musician will compose the opera. Yes. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Letter 5. Yeah, some men has a very deep voice. They do. But oh, I don't know. I don't know much about opera, but do you like musical theater? Musical theater. Musical theater is Soho art normally. Yeah, a long time. And in the opera, it's different. Yeah, some men have a deep voice, some don't have a deep voice, but they're Vinton, or I don't know much about that. Sorry, they become an opera as well as women, men and women. Sort of, something like that. But anyway, last one. So in this way, when we can contong our own bear, is an orchestra of do. That's it. That's it. So in this one, the algorithm of math is us to be one. Math 6.